Winter always seems to become a season of maintenance. Instead of starting new things, I found myself finishing old projects, washing my knits, tending the garden, and trying to take better care of the things I already have. My name is Yewande. I'm a writer and knitter based in Johannesburg. On this channel, I share the projects I'm making and the things I'm learning along the way. So I've been making this scarf. It's a pearl Soho pattern, a free pattern. I've made it slowly. I didn't start it and knit it continuously to finish. And as you can see, I'm not finished. I know that brioche, and it's my first time doing brioche, is known to grow slowly because you're knitting the same row several times, I think. And so it's a project that grows very slowly. And so I started it, I would say, easily even 2 months ago. Every now and then I knit a row. I've learned a lot, but I'm filming this after having tinked back 10 or so rows, and it was excruciating. But I got into a problem that I just could not solve, even though I've learned lots of techniques for solving brioche mistakes. And what you see here now is what I should have done long ago, and that I'm going to be doing going forward. Every 2 or 3 rows, I'm going to put a proactive lifeline in. So that's what that thing is there. Now I'm going to keep knitting. I'm quite some ways away from finishing. It's a scarf for my father-in-law, who turns 80 this year and whom we'll be celebrating with. I'm knitting it from African Expressions Harmony. It's a very affordable yarn. It's 100% merino wool superwash, and it comes in these 50-gram squishy balls, and it's wonderful. I don't normally care about progress markers, but yeah, I've decided I need a little something to be able to say, well done. Another sweater I'm working on is my first ever intarsia sweater. I'm using a base pattern by Eri Shimizu and choosing my own intarsia adventure as I go along. At this stage, I've knitted
sleeves and most of the body. I'm working the neck and then I have to come back and finish the body. I blocked the sweater midway to just check how the fit was working.
Okay, so just to catch you up with what I'm doing with the neck, I've knitted the neck double the length that I want, and the whole idea is that I'm going to do a folded over just for a little bit of an interesting, polished, also kind of sporty, especially because one thing I haven't mentioned, I'm thinking of doing split hem, but I digress. So I've knit double the length. I've kept this lifeline in because if it doesn't work, I will rip it out and then I just rip back to this is, and I will do rip back to that length and simply bind off with tubular and manage that. Tubular bind off is actually very neat, but I just liked the idea of I think there's something interesting about that folded over. So I'm trying it. I'm going to do a tubular bind off now, and then I'm going to get elastic and use elastic to sew it down. I know there are many ways to do this, but that is what I'm doing at the moment. I know it doesn't look like much, but this must be one of the most satisfying bind-offs I've ever done. Not necessarily because of the technique, but because a project is complete. I love looking at these two versions of the same flower. Look at that, that's when it goes to seed. What a portrait that is. What a portrait of a life. Beautiful on both ends, I say.
Proteas are remarkably old flowers, with ancestors dating back over 100 million years. Around 92% of the species occur only in South Africa. They thrive in nutrient-poor soils and are well adapted to drought. There's something comforting about a plant this beautiful that doesn't require perfect conditions to flourish. Perhaps winter is a season for appreciating that kind of quiet endurance. I'm knitting the Hawley Pullover by Julie Hoover, my first all-over cable garment. It's knit in pieces. Every stitch is a triumph. At this stage, I've knitted the front and finishing one sleeve.
So I've been knitting the sleeve. It's gone quite well. When I'm now just shaping the sleeve cap at the top, I will confess I am one stitch short of the instructions, but I am not going to fret about that. I looked carefully because sometimes a stitch would have dropped, and that's dangerous if you just have a stitch hanging around that was forgotten. I don't think that's what's happened. I've looked very carefully, but I can see I probably made a mistake with one of the increases, but it didn't result in a live stitch hanging somewhere. It's just, so I'm going to keep it moving. But one stitch is not going to make this big difference, and I'll just be extra careful when I do the second one.
In a way, that's what I've been thinking about for this episode. Care, maintenance, patience. Knitting a sweater in pieces feels almost alchemical. You spend weeks tending these separate parts, trusting that one day they'll come together into something whole. Slowly, a sleeve, a shoulder, a neckline, a sweater starts to emerge. Thank you for being here. If you've enjoyed spending a little winter time with me in Johannesburg, I'd love to see you again in the next episode. Bye for now.